Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. On this channel, we spend our time looking at fantasy of all sorts, from books to movies to video games, and applying the characters within into the tabletop game Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. And today, we're going to be looking at a character from a favorite Disney movie of mine and many others. From Beauty and the Beast, we're looking at the Beast, the titular character, who is the transformed human prince. An angry and enraged monster at the beginning of the movie. He's softened by the Princess Belle over the case of the movie, but when he's at his normal state throughout, he is in fact a transformed human that is a berserker barbarian. Beast is nothing to be trifled with. He's strong and powerful, and even his noble background behind him, he is not exactly one to turn away from a fight. His alignment is chaotic neutral because even though he's not an evil character, he certainly is an angry one that is prone to doing good or bad things depending on his mood. He's only 20 years old, is a funny thing, because according to the lore, the rose petal would bloom until his 21st birthday, so we know him as a 20-year-old. But he's very tall, 8 feet at his maximum height, and 600 pounds of a monster, with tan skin, brown hair, and blue eyes that Belle knows very well. So, what about his stats? He has a 20 in strength, not being supernaturally strong in the sense that he can just lift whatever he wants, but he's very, very powerful. His dexterity is 12, although he is somewhat fast. He struggles a bit to climb and is seen to not be the most agile creature. His constitution is pretty good, though. He's got an 18 for that. He's very tough and takes a lot of hard hits before going down. His intelligence is 12. He had some noble upbringing and education, but it was limited because he was transformed as a young man. His wisdom and charisma, though, both 10s. He's not particularly wise, nor is he particularly charming. Maybe at the end of the movie that's a little different, but we're talking about him in his beast form right now. Now, he speaks common, and he also speaks beast tongue, because he can talk to animals. But because he's in a permanent transformed state, he loses his ability to wear armor, wield weapons, or use tools of any kind. He just doesn't have any abilities like that anymore. His armor class is 15, thanks to his barbarian's unarmored defense that uses his constitution. He has a lot of hit points, 130, and a speed of 40. His powerful attacks come from his bite and his claws. These are strength-based weapons. I gave his claws 2d6 for a hit, which is equivalent to a greatsword, and his bite 1d8, which is equivalent to a longsword. These are powerful attacks that he can use pretty much whenever. His strength, he has proficiency in strength saving throws and constitution saving throws, being a barbarian. And he is proficient in Arcana, Athletics, History, Intimidation, and Nature. Skills that we could potentially see Beast using. But as a Berserker Barbarian, he has the feature known as Frenzy Rage. This allows him, when he goes into his Barbarian Rage, to also go into a Frenzy, which then exhausts him. This is something we see Beast do. He also can use Reckless Attack, Danger Sense. He has extra attack, mechanically speaking, and the fast movement, which is why he can move 40 feet. The Mindless Rage, and the Feral Instinct powers. And then I gave him the Savage Attacker and the Brutal Critical power, and the Intimidating Presence power. These are all things that would normally go to creatures like orcs and half-orcs, but he gets them just because of his character. That's how he is. He's intimidating, he's brutal, and he's savage. And as far as his feats go, I gave him the tough feat, which is why he has more hit points than another level 10 barbarian might. Overall, Beast is a tortured soul. And when he goes into a rage, he does not think twice. He recklessly attacks and rushes into danger tearing things apart and exhausting himself entirely. This is perfect for a Berserker Barbarian. It's textbook. And even though he can't wear armor and use weapons, his natural prowess and his natural beast-like abilities make it so he doesn't need them. Would you want him in your party? Probably not. But at the same time, as an ally for an NPC, he could be helpful. He also could make a decent villain if you wanted to go up against a raging beast who maybe Bell would show up to like soothe him, but you had to fight him until then. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways you could play a beast like this into your campaign, but overall, he's worth checking out. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below, and keep your eyes peeled for more race or character reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.